We're live at Consensus 2026 in Miami with Michael, co-founder of ZeroG Labs, the layer one for AI. As AI grows deeper into blockchain, or blockchain goes deeper into AI, I think AI is surpassing the scale of blockchain and just benefiting the whole world right now. First of all, I would just love to start with a high level on what do you see as the best synergy of blockchain with AI? And then we can dive into ZeroG and all the latest updates.
Absolutely. So the best way to think about it is that when you look at AI, you think about hyperscalers, black box type of models. You get a bunch of GPUs together in one location. Even people are thinking about nuclear power plants to power all of these types of things. You have no idea where the data came from, what happened. At the end, you just get an API and an interface, you interact with the model, and that's kind of black box AI, if you will. We're providing an alternative called Decentralized AI, effectively, where everything's transparent, yet it can be private, and anybody can participate as part of that network. It's a permissionless type of network. You as a user can provide a graphics card, you can participate in that network. It can be fully distributed, so it could be many kind of power sources that are powering this type of thing. So it's very user-owned type of future. And then more importantly, there's also a truth layer element to AI. You can keep AI accountable and add an AI safety level on top of that as well. And so that's really the big difference in what ZeroG and Decentralized AI provide to the AI space.
Definitely. And it sounds like there's two parts to that. There's how the AI is hosted, if you could say, and then actually how you're interacting with AI and the data behind it, which has been controversial with certain different, some of these, the oligopoly of AI platforms. Your data, where's your data going? Yes, you're using it to your own advantage, but also they're probably using it to their advantage.
Yeah, absolutely. That's the issue with Blackbox AI. You can't individually verify what happened. You may be able to click a button to say, like, don't use my AI for training data or my data for training of AI, but how can you verify that? The moment it's on somebody else's server, they can technically do whatever they want with that particular data. And it's very hard to independently verify and say, like, oh, you didn't use it for training purposes. So if I have very sensitive customer data, personally identifiable data, medical data, how do I know that's not being used to train models, for example? And so with decentralized AI, you can keep things completely private. For example, we use something called TE verification, trusted execution environments. And so there's a physical, like, hardware device on a graphics card that ensures that the privacy is there. And then once the computation has been done, there's an entry on a blockchain that basically says, okay, this has been done to these specifications according to this level of privacy. And so therefore you can then independently verify that something has happened.
And if there are all of these benefits to decentralized AI, what's holding people back? Is it the user interface, the friendliness of choosing that, the convenience? It seems like Claude pops up and it's just like, hey, Ashton, let's get to work. Is it that much more convenient that's stopping people from switching, or they just aren't aware?
There's a couple of things. Awareness is certainly one challenge, and that's something that we hope to address as we grow. OpenAI has been around for, I think, going to be a decade pretty soon. And it took them 7+ years before they could actually release something that made the world really take AI seriously at that point. And so it's our third year into the journey at this point. May kind of 2023 is when we got founded, and so it's a lot of room to go. So there's the attention element, but then there's a user experience element to it as well. Blockchains are not easy to use because you have to have a wallet interface, you have to top it up with a specific type of new currency, and so with AI agents and various other things like a payment layer, we're trying to abstract that user experience so it's significantly easier. And then the final thing is that open source models still lag about 3 months behind the state-of-the-art or SOTA level models like Opus 4.7 or the GPT equivalent. So there's always some type of performance trade-off there. But eventually we see that gap closing, and models are going to be intelligent enough where they'll be good enough for most tasks that you need.
Yeah, ChatGPT, for example, they have that 10-year history, but there was an inflection point when it came out on the App Store and it made it available to the public. I think they broke a record for the fastest to 1 million users.
Right.
And like the adoption just happened overnight as everyone started like experimenting with it. You mentioned about abstracting that stuff away that is involved with the decentralized version and the wallet, things like that. So what's the killer app on ZeroG that we can have that happen so people get onboarded into crypto without them knowing it?
Yeah, there's a couple elements to it. Of course, you can build a similar chat interface, but it'd be completely private. And so there's a kind of killer app aspect to that alone. But ultimately, it's going to be about the types of models that can be created. So for example, if I want to participate in AI and I have some sensitive data that I don't want to share, but I want to create a model for other people to use that, I can then utilize blockchains to effectively monetize some of that data. I can work with other experts to create a new model that others can use, and I can benefit from the revenue streams. And so I think in the future, those types of things will become more and more important. And then finally, really becoming the truth layer for AI and having an AI safety layer that can keep AI accountable as well. So I see those as a few killer use cases.
Definitely. It's always nice when you're able to earn from your contributions. You know, the fact that your information is staying private in your own hands is nice, but if you want to give it away for the purpose of training, at least you should be rewarded for it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, the way I think about it, if you're contributing to like a Reddit or a X or some other social media, you don't really own that data yourself. What if you not only own that data, but then can actually monetize it by giving it as training data to other AI models?
Definitely. And you know, it's you need to have a perfect storm to be able to create an app that all of a sudden has millions of users in a couple days. And if you just make one app, I know, you know, you're going to be fighting a big battle. But from what I understand, with the ZeroG network, there's like over 100 different apps and companies that are running on the ecosystem, testing out different things right now. Can you talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, absolutely. There's many different types of applications, anything from infrastructure-based ones that make agentic commerce work. So implementations of X42 payment protocol, for example, but extending it to other areas. Then there's more on the application level where there's Gas AI, for example, that helps you run OpenClaw in the Chrome browser as a plugin. Live for a couple of weeks, thousands of users already.
I was just going to ask about that because I'm like, OpenClaw is sort of, when people think of open source AI, that's what comes to mind now. And it seems like the functions have surpassed these regular LLMs, you know, like OpenClaw's phoning you and telling you to do stuff, or tapping into the cameras in your house if you let it, to be able to like guide you on doing things. Can we tie that into a blockchain ecosystem?
Yeah, absolutely. And that's where the truth and safety layer comes into place. Like, do you really want your agent to hold your private keys and have access to all your wealth, for example? Not at this point, until we have got this full safety layer established effectively.
Definitely. It's going to come to that where, why would I call up some old guy, my financial advisor, on the phone when I have like the world's information at my fingertips and an AI agent to be able to help me manage that in my own way?
Yeah, exactly.
With the X402, it's the sort of from what I understand, it's the way that AI agents will be able to handle payments.
Correct.
How far along do you think that is in people that are using OpenClaw, and then people that aren't as technical and they're maybe just using regular LLMs right now?
Yeah, so for X402 specifically, it's a very early stage. So if you think about last year, 33 trillion in payment volume on stablecoins, or just in transaction volume on stablecoins. X42 to date has processed maybe 600 million or so, so it's like a fraction of a percent. And so very early in the agentic commerce side, but our belief is that next 5+ years, that'll be most of the transactions on blockchains in the future. So we're building towards that future. And then as far as the adoption of OpenClaw versus other LLMs, OpenClaw is slightly different because an LLM is just a base model that you can prompt, and OpenClaw takes it a step further to then say, not only is there an underlying model, but I'm going to give an agent the ability to use different types of tools and do work for me. And so OpenClaw would then use these kind of payment rails to actually then pay for things through the blockchain. And it's a natural synergy, because on the blockchain-based thing, as I mentioned, it's again about the trust and truth layer.
Definitely. And with the interoperability of blockchains, tying into the current infrastructure of DeFi on Ethereum or Solana, are there any issues with ZeroG being able to help all parts of blockchain?
So ZeroG has a full AI stack. So it's not just a blockchain itself. It's got a storage network, it's got a compute network, it's got an AI safety layer, service marketplace. And so these other components are built in a modular fashion. So any other blockchain can utilize those components. Even the agents that we built on ZeroG can utilize some of the bridging elements and then support on other networks too.
Yeah, very cool. And with the second half of 2026, AI, at least traditional AI models, are just continuing to get stronger. There's so many facets of this vertical stack that you have.
Yeah.
What are some of the top priorities for you and the team to focus on in the second half of this year?
Yeah, it comes down to basically all the AI goals that we have. So things like deep research. A couple of our papers just got accepted to ICML, for example. We're doing research on anything from agent-to-agent interactions to decentralized compute to AI safety type of issues. So a lot of those aspects we're working on. We're working on building our own models that provide new capabilities. So we're just releasing a model that is able to have a 20 to 30% increase in benchmark results versus the underlying Qwen 3.6 model.
Okay.
Because we were able to refine and kind of retrain it. And so those are exciting. So that's the AI side. Then there's the blockchain-based side, which is all about ecosystem building. So we have an accelerator called Apollo that's in combination with Stanford and the Blockchain Builders Association there. And building anything from kind of the DeFi and the liquidity layer to further AI applications. We've even built AI applications just to demonstrate the decentralized network capacity. So we've built a vibe coding app.zerog.ai, and within 3 weeks, we've already burned about 4 billion tokens, and so a very good start.
Very fun.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll put the link to that vibe coding app in the show notes. What's the best way for people to follow along with the other apps, the Apollo, and the updates as they come out?
So we will update our hub page, hub.zerog.ai, so that you can follow along some of those latest news, but also follow our X, ZeroG_labs, for a lot of these updates.
Sounds great. Awesome. Thank you, Michael. All the best in keeping growing AI in the decentralized way, tying in blockchain and making it open source, private and secure in the battle of AI. So thank you so much for the time.
Thanks. Love what we're doing. Our mission is to make AI a public good, and we're not stopping anytime soon. Thank you.